going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm the King Koopa. Thank you for stopping by. So I got a good little video for you today. We're finally going to show some love to our C5 Corvette. I've had this thing for like 8 or 9 years. Bought it as an E3 Lance Corporal when I was back in the Marine Corps, so this is a very special car to me. I probably won't ever sell it, but we have been making a lot of progress on the little black truck. We got our 4L80 transmission sitting on the ground over there because we're swapping that. And we are going to eventually be doing an all-wheel drive swap as well. I think for the black truck, we're going to be trying to wrap it up in the next month so we can get it out for summertime. We're basically just waiting on the converter, I believe. But anyways, not a big deal. I decided to take a break from the little black truck. I've been working on it way too much. The wiring on the nitrous, and I got to run like 6 relays and stuff. That's just making my head hurt. So I'm going to do some bolting, unbolting some stuff, a little bit easier for me. So we're going to be putting some long tube headers on the Corvette. There's not really too much performance done on the Vet. It just has a Corsa catback exhaust that the previous owner bought, and I have the receipt for $2,100 on that. Whew. So, and it does have a BBK cold air intake, so nothing really too crazy. So I don't really plan on doing anything too crazy with this, but I do want it to sound a little bit better. So we went with a set of Speed Engineering long tube headers. Those are 1 inch and 7/8, and we also did get the X pipe. Speed Engineering is definitely more of a budget brand, but it's not that bad. I have it on the black truck, and I liked it a lot. So we are going to be wrapping those with some heat wrap. That heat wrap is going to keep the temperatures in the engine bay down. It's also going to save our spark plug wires. So we went with some new spark plug wires that come out of the cylinder head and then come up at a 45-degree angle. That's going to keep the spark plug wire from resting on some of the long tubes. And we also picked up some ARP exhaust manifold bolts. That's pretty key. You definitely want to do these because some of these bolts, you know, with 80,000 miles on it might seize. Hopefully none of them snap off. And for an extra 20 bucks, we went with some ceramic sleeves to go over the spark plug wires. That's going to help protect it as well. So we're about to get started. We're going to have to jack this bad girl up. Going to have 2 vehicles in the garage jacked up. This place is a mess right now. I have parts everywhere. I shouldn't even be doing this modification. But it's summertime. We're going to be getting her out next week. And so I want to show her off, you know, have some good sounds with her. So before we get started, let me open up the garage and let you hear what she sounds like right now. She still has the catalytic converters on her for now. First thing we're going to do is jack the car up and get it on stands. This is a little difficult since the car is pretty low, but once we get that done, we can get up underneath the car, start removing the mid-pipe, and it would help to spray these bolts down ahead of time with some PB Blast. After that, we can get the mid-pipe out. It would help if we had 2 people, and now we can get back into the engine bay. So we're making some good progress. We did take the alternator off, but you might be wondering, what is this big bulky thing right here? This has a tube coming off the exhaust manifold, and this is part of the emissions. So this has a tube that blows back warm air to the catalytic converters, so that way on cold engine startups, it can start the conversion of exhaust gases sooner. We're also going to be getting rid of that. Next, we're going to remove the coil packs. There is a connector on top and 5 10mm bolts holding that onto the valve covers. After that, we can remove the spark plug wires, and then we're going to start removing all the bolts holding the exhaust manifolds on. And you want to make sure that you disconnect the oxygen sensors as well. We're going to trash these gaskets. We are not going to reuse those. Boom! There we go! Like a glove. This is that air pump that I was talking about that's in the driver's side lower bumper, and some of the hoses that go from the air cleaner to the air pump and then back to the exhaust, and the bracket that held it in. So we're going to junk all that, and that will throw a check engine light, so we're going to have the tuner fix that as well. Moving right along, we are going to start wrapping our headers now, so let's talk about some tips for that. First thing I would recommend is to buy a nice quality heat wrap. Make sure you don't cheap out on these. These are made of fiberglass, so you are going to want to wear some PPE, some personal protective equipment. As you can see, I am wearing gloves and I do have safety glasses on. I do have a fan on outside and I do have my air filtration system on right now. You might even want to wear a dust mask because as you're working with this material, fiberglass fibers are going to be floating off and you want to make sure that you don't breathe those in. I have seen some guys work this heat wrap after they soak it in water. That's going to keep all that dust and the fiberglass fibers from floating around. Now we're going to start working this wrap material from the shortest tube first. We're going to be starting at the top at the primaries and work our way down. I do about a 50% overlap and I'm making sure that this is super snug while I'm wrapping it. If you wrap it and it's not snug at all, it can unravel over time. And you may notice when I'm done, I do not have any stainless steel clamps at the top. That is because I actually start about 2 inches down from the top of the primary, put a stainless steel clamp on, and then I wrap over the top of the stainless steel clamp and then wrap the header back down. Once I meet it down at the primary tube, I'll cut the wrap off, put a stainless steel clamp on it, and then start on the next tube, and once they come down and meet, then I will wrap them both together. So I picked up a new metal zip tie gun, and this thing is pretty slick. I'm going to show you how to use it real quick. So we have our long stainless steel zip ties. We're just going to slide this up and over the collector on the headers. Put it where we want it. We're going to make it tight. We got 4 on here. It's a little overkill. Nobody's going to see this area. Just want some extra reassurance. So we take our gun, fit it through the sleeve, through this little gap here. Now you can clamp it and it'll tighten it. Got it cinched down. Once you got it cinched down, then you can just take this bar right here and it'll cut it for you. Boom, just like that. That's bad. It was like 40 bucks for this tool. I got it like 1 day shipping. So I'll put a link in the description of this. Pretty nice. Is nice. Both headers are fully wrapped and it looks nice and clean up top with the hidden stainless steel bands. So we're about to get those installed onto the car. But we have ran into another issue. We removed that air pump, but some of the hoses, here is one that would connect to the passenger side, runs all the way over to the driver's side as well, and that is mounted on the rear of the engine. You could leave this, but I know this is going to irritate me every time I look at it, so we're going to pull the intake manifold off to get to that mount. I've tried every little which way to get back there, and there is no room, so we're going to pull that off, put some new intake gaskets on, remove that tube, and get her all buttoned up, and then we'll finish the header install. All right, well, I would definitely not recommend that. It took me about 35-40 minutes to take the intake manifold off, and then probably like another 25 to 30 just to get that bolt off. It's on the driver's side head at the very far back, way back there. The only reason I could get it was this little stubby right here. I even tried my flex head wrenches, these nice things that my baby bought me. Still couldn't get back there, so. Installing these headers was definitely a challenge by myself. It is an extremely tight fit, and you are actually going to have to fit the headers up in from the bottom of the car. We did also have to drop the starter on the passenger side, and it was very tough getting it past those wires. Now we can install our new multi-layer steel gaskets. You want to make sure you do not reuse those, and then we can install our ARB bolts. So we have the intake manifold all wrapped back up, everything's torqued, plugged in. And now since a bunch of fuel did dump out, we're going to have to remember when we do go to start the car, we're going to have to turn the key on and off a couple times to prime the fuel pump so there's fuel in the rails when we do go to start it. But now we can put our coil packs back on and our new spark plugs and our new spark plug wires and the boots. So let's get those prepped right now. When you're upgrading to long tube headers, there's one thing that a lot of people don't think about, and that is the spark plug wires. So a lot of people have these stock factory looking wires. They'll come out of the heads and curve up, but it comes out very far, and a lot of the times it will rest on the headers themselves and end up burning the wires up, and will cause a misfire. So we upgraded to these 45-degree bent ones, so they're a little bit shorter. We already have these ones prepped right here. Now there is a metal ring in the end of these, and it only goes on really one way. It's really tight and hard to get on, so we stick it in our vise, let that metal ring sit on the edges, and then we take a flat screwdriver. Ugh. Shove that head down in there. Now we can pull the wires through and we'll put that metal ring on this top black boot. Not the easiest, but we got it done. So after that, one more step, we're going to use some Permatex. This is some dielectric grease. This is going to prevent corrosion and create a good seal for the contact points inside these spark plug boots. So we're just going to shoot a little bit in here. Boom, and we're ready to go. We're making some good progress. Our collector comes down right here, and we installed our little bent section piece. Both sides got them in there nice and snug. Here is our X pipe, and then our two little reducer adapters that Speed Engineering sent with us, and that is as far as the exhaust kit will go. So from this point to the back of the car, you're either going to have to use your factory exhaust, but since ours is a Corsa, we're going to be using that. Here are our two pipes that will go up and over the transmission and go to our rear mufflers. So we're going to have to piece in this piece right here. So to do that, we have our old exhaust laying right here on the ground, and this is where it originally connected. We are going to be using this factory exhaust hanger that has the spring on it, so we took a measurement inside the car from this point to where we need to cut, and it was right after this H-pipe. We hit the edge with a sanding wheel and filed the inside to make sure there was no sharp burrs. And what I ended up having to do is I had to weld the adapter onto the factory exhaust, being that we were using these factory exhaust hangers. I could not fit a clamp on here very well, especially with this bend in place. The clamp just wouldn't seal properly. So we took it all off, ground it down, put some beads on it, some bubblegum beads. Not too bad though. And then we used our exhaust clamp, and we did put some JB Weld exhaust cement inside there to help seal that as well. So the less clamps you have, the less points for exhaust leaks. Sounds so much better. I love it already. Definitely putting out a lot more fumes without the cats, that's for sure. Pretty smelly. All right, let me give it a little rev for you. Let's go. She sounds amazing, and I am super happy with how it turned out. This is the second set of Speed Engineering headers that I have ran now, and I can't complain. Definitely can't beat them for that price point either. So I know it was just a small sound clip. I apologize that I didn't get some better footage of me ripping it down the road or anything like that. It still does need tune, and the main reason is because it's supposed to rain for like the next 5 days. I did want to get it out, run the draggy on it, and see how much time I picked up just from the Longtube headers and getting rid of the catalytic converters. I will not be able to get you those times because of the rain for the next week, and I don't want to wait for the second reason. But we do have some change of plans. Right now on the black truck, we're waiting on the heads. The male valves are on back order. We're waiting on the Circle D converter that we got, and we are waiting on the custom seat brackets for our racing seats. So pretty much everything right there is on hold until we get those parts in. So we're going to take the little 4.8 cam that was originally in the black truck. It's a 226 by 234 crane cam, custom grind spec'd out originally for my Project Vet, and we're going to stick her in the black truck. Why? I don't know, just because I've had this car for like 9 years and haven't really done anything performance-wise with it, so I think it kind of needs it. It deserves it a little bit. So for the next couple days, we're going to be tearing the engine down, probably putting the new oil pump, new LS2 timing chain, the lifters and stuff like that in there as well, just to make sure it's reliable. And I'll probably replace the head gaskets while I'm there. It only has 80,000 miles on it, but it's one of those things, might as well do it now while I'm in there and not have to deal with it later. So stay tuned for that, and that is exactly why I will not be able to get you some better sound clips of it right now with the new exhaust, or ripping down the road, or the times on the draggy. I love doing the times on the draggy. So and our flamethrower kit is fully installed. I haven't tried it out yet, mainly because the car's been on jack stands. Don't want to catch my bumper on fire, burn the garage down, you know. We're going to have to wait to test that until we get the cam in it and get it out on the road. I hope you guys enjoy the how-to videos while we are still waiting for some more content on the black truck. Hopefully once it's all said and done, we'll be able to chase it down some hell kitties, so stay tuned, guys. I would just like to say I appreciate all your guys' support, your views, your likes, your comments, your subscribes, everything. I know this video was kind of mediocre, but I hope you guys enjoy the how-to and install videos. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll catch you in next week's video. Peace.